I'd like to say thank you to my old friend Alvin A. McEwen, creator of Holy Bullies and Headless Monsters, also known as Black Tsunami. He read over this script before I recorded it to make sure that it was appropriate and hit the necessary marks. You'll be able to find links to his blog in the description below. I have this memory from when I was a kid, maybe 15 or 16. I remember thinking Vulcans made no sense. This might also give you a little insight into my social life. But they live on a desert planet with high UV exposure, I assumed, and they were always white. I spent way too much time thinking about this and decided they had high melanin in their skin. Only because of some quirk in their physiology, maybe their copper-based blood, the melanin looked white. And then Star Trek Voyager came out and I saw Tuvok. That shot the hell out of my theory. But I remember seeing years later how upset people were by Tuvok, because Tim Russ, the actor who played Tuvok, is black. But in reality, it only makes sense for aliens to have different complexions represented. It's a planet with multiple climates, and even if the environment skews more to one extreme, it's bound to have people of all complexions. Hello, my name is Erica, and I'm the Dyslexic Trekkie. This week, I'd like to do something for Black History Month. I thought long and hard about what I could do. The whole point of Star Trek is that humanity has gone beyond its issues relating to race that we deal with today. I'd like to think that Earth history was taught in a way that represented all of Earth culture and not just the Eurocentric history we learn. But there is a real issue in Star Trek, especially in TOS and TNG. And that's where my little story about Tuvok comes in. The sheer anger of some fans and how he broke canon by being a black man was insane. I always like to think Trekkies are above this racist nonsense. I mean, there's a reason why we all love a show that depicts a humanity that has risen above its petty differences. And yes, racism is petty. How stupid is it to measure someone's worth by the level of melanin in their skin? The anger over Tuvok being a black Vulcan was the very definition of petty. Nothing in canon was broken. Tuvok was about the most Vulcan out there. So, okay, yet again, the point of this video is to discuss the whitewashing of aliens in Star Trek. In the original series, it's almost understandable. Gene Roddenberry fought tooth and nail to have Uhura be more than just a glorified phone operator patching calls through. When he got grief for making her too smart, he made her a linguistics expert. Then, of course, there's Sulu and Chekhov. This was during the Cold War and 20 years after Pearl Harbor. Many of the allegorical representations in Star Trek wouldn't have been allowed if the aliens were played by black actors. The allegory of racism only made it on the air because it went over the heads of the studio heads. That would have been the case if the actors had been black. It would have been too on the nose. The Next Generation didn't have that excuse. It broke barriers relating to disabled representation, a topic for another video. To their credit, they had taken the Klingons, always previously white actors in copper makeup and weird eyebrows, and had Michael Dorn play Worf. Again, I can't fathom anyone else ever playing Worf. No one else could have made him who he was in quite the same way. Then again, when Whoopi Goldberg came in to play Guinan, we had two regular alien members of the Enterprise who were played by black actors. But then there's this. I intend on going into this specific episode all on its own. But most aliens are played by white actors, even when it would make more sense to have them be black. We've established that Klingons from TNG and beyond are dark. Why waste the body makeup by having white actors play them? I can already hear the comments. But excluding white actors is discriminatory. Klingons aren't white or black. They're aliens. But that's the point. This isn't white or black in the same sense as races on Earth. These are aliens. There's no reason any of them have to be played by someone of any specific race. So why not pool actors from all over? What a wonderful way to let new actors show their worth. Well, that was done in DS9, somewhat. Nana Visitor is white. So is Rene Auberjonois. And I seriously hope I said his name right. And let's not forget just plain Andrew J. Robinson. Come on, how could I resist? But when you look at the aliens on the station, especially the Bajorans, you see a variety of skin tones. It's clear they consider the planet as a place with multiple climates and a need for a variety of skin tones to manage the sun. I think I've already gone on enough about Voyager, but I'll say they didn't go as far forward as the other shows. So what's going on? Well, there's a striking fact when looking at the whole of Star Trek. The majority of the writers and producers are white. It's hard to have diverse representation without diverse representation in the writing process. When I decided to do a video for Black History Month, I felt I couldn't not talk about it. But at the same time, I'm a white lady talking about an issue that doesn't directly affect me. I have empathy for the issues of being neuroatypical and a lesbian, but for the most part, I enjoy privileges others, like my friends, don't. It's not my place to say what their life is like. I don't appreciate it when non-disabled people say I suffer from dyslexia. Why would it be okay for me to say how a person of color lives? My solution is to run this script by a good friend of mine who's written on LGBT plus and Black LGBT issues especially for years now. I'll be able to see where I might be overstepping or where there are points I'm missing. The problem is, I have a Black friend to ask doesn't always go over well. For one thing, I'm getting one man's take. It's one man who is very experienced in these issues of representation and the sci-fi superhero genre, but it's still one man. The problem is people default see the world through their eyes. My book's main character is a nerdy bisexual obsessed with one topic because I'm a nerdy lesbian obsessed with one topic. I know how to come at a situation from that perspective. Writers need an in to the characters they create or write about. I don't say this to excuse the writers, they could try harder. But you know what would be better? Have more Black Star Trek screenwriters. Have more Asian, Hispanic, and Native American ones too. Star Trek is meant for everyone. It's about time the creators reflected that. If we can break through that barrier, maybe someday a video like this will be as outdated as the backlash to a Black Vulcan was. Thank you for watching. Please share any thoughts, feelings, or ideas on this subject in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Again, my name is Erica, and I'm the Dyslexic Trekkie. The whole point of Star Trek is that humanity has gone past... Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, Mommy doesn't read the words that are on the page. Ensign Bradbury would like me to do better. Yeah? Well, I'd let you run free, but then you make a whole bunch of noise while I'm trying to record. I'm holding him on my lap, and he's not really very happy with me right now. But I'd really like to do this in under an hour.